When I was a boy, my father gave me one of those air rifles, an air rifle. He said I could shoot all the blue jays I want, probably knowing I'd never be able to hit one, but to always remember that it was a sin to kill a mockingbird. A sin, a crime against God. I asked him why, and he said it was because they were innocent. And I became a lawyer.
Well, that was a clip from Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. The adaptation of the literary classic is coming to our state this weekend.
Yes, and I had the incredible chance to sit down with the show's star, the Richard Thomas.
Incredible. Who
plays the role of Atticus Finch. Take a look. Welcome, Richard. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. It's great to be with you.
I know so many people have grown up with you, even those who just watched it in repeats, but of course from the Waltons. So it's a pleasure to see you and to talk about your new endeavors of coming here to Connecticut.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's I grew up with myself too on the Waltons, and I'm always so thrilled to, speak to people about it, and it's such an amazing thing that after like more than 50 years, it still has, has the hold it has over people's imagination. It's a wonderful thing, great blessing for me. But here I am on the national Broadway tour of To Kill a Mockingbird, great Broadway production that we started touring in March of last year, and will be coming your way very soon. And just very excited about this beautiful production and adaptation by Aaron Sorkin of this wonderful novel.
Yes, Aaron Sorkin, amazing. And then also this has been receiving such critical and audience acclaim, amazing reviews. But I know the show that we're going to see might differ a little bit, right, from Harper Lee's famous book. Can you tell us how it differs?
Well, it's completely faithful to the time, the place, and the story and the sentiment of the novel. But of course, as with any adaptation of any classic, there are things that are shifted and moved around, especially if you're adapting into another medium, theater in this case. So in his wonderful way, Aaron Sorkin has written it as a purely theatrical piece of writing. The children are played by young adults who are both children in the play and remembering the story because it's a memory story, the novel. He's given Atticus, he's taken him off the pedestal and brought him down, from being a sort of a kind of white savior saint to being a wonderfully accessible man with a great sense of humor who has a lot to learn and very much a joy to play. And he's really allowed us to view this story through a more contemporary lens in terms of how we look at the issues of racial and social justice now. It's a very satisfying and entertaining evening.
Yeah, and I think that's important, right, because there's so much controversy. I know, sadly, I mean, in some places, they've just taken the book out of circulation. They don't want kids reading, and it's difficult to talk about it. So talk about how you think this is important, and as you play Atticus Finch, so that perhaps a new generation can really understand what was once called the greatest book of all time.
Well, it's certainly the most popular book in America, the most popular novel, and the people are polled every few years that their favorite book, and To Kill a Mockingbird is always at the top of the list. There's a reason for that. It's our story. People can try to ban it or get rid of it or take it off the shelves if they want to, but it doesn't erase history by doing that. History is history. What happened, happened. And it's very important for everybody to know what happened. I mean, that's how we move forward, right? And also, it's a great book. They try to protect young people from it, but it's a perfect book, perfect story for young people, because when people are hitting adolescence and they're already starting high school, it's when they begin to really develop their sense of community and social conscience, which is so much of what the story's about. So all this baloney about, not being allowed to read it or taking it off the shelves, it's worse than silly. You can't turn your back on history. And so I can't think of a better story to be telling around the country right now than this one. But make no mistake, Aaron Sorkin has created a wildly entertaining evening. It's very entertaining. It's very funny. It's very touching. It's very thought-provoking. It's a very rich mix for people who come to the theater.
Now, as you said, you've grown up with you. We've grown up with you. We want people to come see this because it's only going to be your last time playing this role in Connecticut. So we're going to talk about that. But it's November 3rd through 5th at the Palace Theater in Waterbury. I want everyone to go. But I also have to ask, I was reading, I think I have the number right. Are you a father of 4 and including a set of triplets?
I am a yes. Well, between my wife and I, we have 7 kids.
Wow.
I had 4, including a set of girl triplets who are now, grown women. They're all grown now, all my kids. And my wife had 2 daughters, and we got married and had one of our own. So it's a total of 7. And I'm just glad they're all grown up now.
But I mean, do they talk? Is that family conversation about the Waltons? Obviously, they're younger, but what do they think of this show that America has grown up on, and their dad being a part of it?
Well, it's never been required viewing for my family. I mean, they have to deal with me, which is sufficient. They shouldn't have to watch me on television. They don't want to. That's asking too much. But they enjoy it. They've seen it and they know it's good, and they're happy for me, and I suppose, but it doesn't really figure. It's so old too. I mean, it was so long ago,
I know.
They're much more engaged right now in my doing this wonderful play around the country.
Well, I love that they're engaged in that. But I feel like we're all still comparing ourselves to the Waltons, so I was just wondering how it did in your real
That's
family.
right. I love that show. I have nothing but happy, fond, proud memories of it. I'm very happy to be associated with John Boy Walton.
The unachievable family, but it's a good place to
well, it's a good aspiration.
Absolutely. So anything exciting when you come to Connecticut? We're all excited to see you, but will you be staying here? Any favorite places in Connecticut?
Well, it's going to be a quick trip. I had many wonderful experiences at Hartford Stage over the years. But we're going to have a Friday night show, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday, so there's not going to be much time to do anything except be Atticus Finch. But I do have some pals who are going to come see it. I'm very excited to see them. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're looking forward to it as well. I hope everyone brings their families. The Waterbury Palace Theater is also a beautiful place to see this remarkable work of art. So we want to thank you so much for being with us.
Wow, great interview. Love Richard Thomas.
He was really fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, right?
Yeah.
You like when they turn out to be as nice as you hope they are going to be.
Yeah, he was very nice, very affable, and obviously very talented. So if you get a chance to go see the show, I think it's going to be incredible.
Absolutely. All right.